All right, everyone. So last night was Packers versus Eagles in Brazil. Honestly, in my opinion, just off of like how I was looking at the game, yeah, the NFL should never play in Brazil again. And we'll basically go into like kind of like the game and overall like stats and stuff like that from it and the play-by-plays. This is That One Sports Fan, and we'll be covering through this game that happened last night. First of all, I always like to take a look at stats first because I feel like it gets most of the information out of the way. So, for the Packers, Jordan Love had actually a pretty alright game. I mean, 50% on completions is not great. He had two touchdowns though, interception. However, on the second to last play on the drive, he got injured, and that's why Malik Willis came in. So he had to get Jordan Love basically had to get assisted. It was a situation where he got tackled down low, tackled up high, and just got dragged down. Even though as a Bears fan, I'm just kind of like, please Jordan Love stay out for as long as possible. I still hope he recovers well, but it also means you get to see Malik Willis, who played well during the preseason. Honestly, still like a raw like talent, but still, I think he did pretty solid. So I would love to see him, Malik Willis, get some good run during his time as Jordan Love's recovered from his injury. Um, yeah, so that's it for the passing. Overall, like pretty solid game. Rushing, Josh Jacobs, 16 carries for 84 yards, and he also got two receptions for 20 yards. So 104 like total yards. I mean, that's pretty good, but like when we get to the Eagles, you kind of see why like Josh Jacobs had a pretty alright game in my opinion. He still did good. Emmanuel Wilson, 4 carries for 46 yards. Pretty solid. Jaden Reed was very good. He's responsible for two touchdowns. He had one carry for 33 yards that led to a touchdown, and he also had four receptions for 138 yards and a touchdown. So I thought Jaden Reed did really well this game. Like he played out of his mind. Like it was very enjoyable to watch. Overall for the receiving, outside of Jaden Reed, it was pretty mid. Like Musgrave didn't get a catch at all. Who was it? Christian Watson. I mean, he had 3 receptions for 13 yards and a touchdown. Like that was pretty nice. However, like it was mainly the Jaden Reed show for that entire time. I mean, Josh Jacobs also had a fumble too. In terms of interceptions, Jair Alexander and Xavier McKinney both had interceptions, and yeah, a good amount of pass deflections. Like there is photos going around of like how bad the quality of the field is, where it's like you just see like lumps and lumps of just like dirt and grass just like on or on the cleats. So it's just kind of like I'm not surprised how there was a lot of like bad passes, bad runs, that sort of stuff, and also a lot of tackling. Like yeah, we have like a lot of tackles, good amount of tackles for losses, 2 sacks, which I mean like yeah, we have like 1, 2, 7 tackles for losses. Like that's pretty wild, honestly. Brandon Narvison, 3 for 4 on his field goals. His long 31. I mean, like he missed a field goal, but it's just kind of like well, everyone missed a field goal. Like kicker to me is probably like it's the hardest peak job you ever had to deal with in the NFL. In terms of like if we're looking at like the peaks of peaks, because we all Bears fans, we all know about the double doink and how like greatly that impacts like a moment and like how we still shit on like that moment and play in our history. But like not so the fact he missed like a field goal was like wasn't the best. I mean like not a lot of returns like really, which is kind of surprising because I thought with the new like kickoff it'll be more returns, but I think people are just still being like, man, screw it, we're just gonna try to see how it works. But I also think it's like we had like two like more like outlier games. I think on Sunday we'll probably see more of like proper returns. I think, in my opinion, but overall it's like very still very good game for the Packers. Even though yeah they lost, it was still a good game. Like they still played pretty well given the conditions. Now for the Eagles. Jalen Hurts, 20 for 34, passes is pretty all right, pretty standard for him. 278 yards is good. 2 touchdowns is pretty good. 2 interceptions. I think those problems are still gonna play from last year. Like, I think they're still gonna play because it's like because we're going into the rushing. Saquon Barkley was the difference maker of this. 24 carries for 109 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like, he was elite the entire time. Like, it was very good. Jalen Hurts 13 carries for 33 yards. A lot of threes there. They're pretty solid. And then you just have like Kenneth Gainwell, like just a carry for 2 yards. Like nothing that bad. Receiving AJ Brown did pretty good. He was getting a lot of balls. He was getting a lot of targets and only just brought down 5 of them. Like, he was getting very heavily coverage. 119 yards and a touchdown was pretty good. Devonta Smith, 84 yards, pretty good. Saquon, 2 receptions for 23 yards and a touchdown was pretty nice. Dallas Goedert, 31 yards carried in. And then Jahan Dotson, 1 target for like 0 yards. I thought they would have maybe gone to him a little bit more, honestly. I get it. He's basically like the wide receiver 3, or like basically just like in like the committee for like a wide receiver 3. However, I thought he would get more than 1 target, honestly. I really thought he would. Let's see. Jalen Hurts had 2 fumbles. He lost 1 of them and a 4th fumble. Again, I blame the field condition for this, really. And that's the same thing for the Packers too. Like, I think a lot of these stats from this game is gonna have a pretty decent sized asterisk on it because of how bad the field was. Like, honestly, I generally think that like the NFL should never go back to Brazil. We should just leave Brazil to be where it is, honestly. Darius Slay had a 4th fumble, which was pretty nice. In terms of interceptions, we had Reed Blankenship had 1 interception, and then just a lot of pass deflections. That's really what all it was. And then for tackles, Zach Bond was on it. 9 tackles for 2 sacks and a tackle for loss. He was going crazy. Generally going crazy. Nakobe Dean for a tackle for loss was pretty good. And then yeah, just like also Josh Sweat was also pretty good. I mean, just like overall, it's like not that bad. One of the things I was like kind of at least like surprised for me is that we didn't that like there wasn't really much like Jordan Davis out there, which I was kind of surprised. I know Jalen Carr was going to be like the main one, but like I thought Jordan Davis would be in some rotation shit. Jake Elliott disproving the kind of disproving like his missed field goals in the preseason. Like, he got those out of his system, had 2 field goals that were pretty good and extra points, and then overall just again like. There's just not a lot of returns, really. There's just not a lot of them. Overall, like, still pretty good game. However, like as I said, like given the conditions of the field and kind of what's happening, I think this game will probably be one of the bigger asterisk games for it. Overall, I'm happy that the Eagles won. I thought they were gonna win this game by like 2 scores, but the fact they came kind of close, I mean, thought it was pretty good. Like, it was a lot better of a game than I thought it would be, honestly. But also I'm a Packers hater, so take that with a grain of salt. So going to the plays. First quarter was a punt. Basically, just like Josh Jacobs tried to take it out the middle, he got stopped. Quick little short pass from Jordan Love, and then to kind of like more of like a long pass to Dobbs, which was pretty good. Another quick little run from Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs got stopped on the line. A penalty, which would have been to a Jalen Reed touchdown. However, it got penalized because defense, too many men in the field, offsetting, enforced, no play, penalty in Green Bay Packers, offsetting, and too many men in the field. So a lot of confusion in that play, really. I think it's just because it's just like I think it was more of just miscommunication, really. Passing completion, 5-yard penalty for a false start, and a punt. That's kind of how that drive kind of went. When I first saw that play, I thought, okay, we're going to do pretty good. It's Eagles time to shine. Okay, yeah, so Saquon Barkley got tackled and basically lost 5 yards. We had a passing completion to a deep to AJ Brown. And then interception. When I saw that, I was just kind of like, oh, great, already we're dealing with the Jalen Hurts interception problem. However, given the fact that the Packers were on the 19 Phillies 19, and they only had basically a net gain of 6 yards that made them have to go into a field goal from this situation. However, they did have a benefit from a penalty, I will say, on Walker. So it's just kind of like there's not really like much we can really like say off of it. However, the fact that they had an interception and they held them to a field goal, that was impressive. And then again, Jalen Hurts just fucking it up basically. Yeah, a quick little run, a pass, and then then basically just a fumble that kind of happened. That got recovered by Wyatt on their 13. So you look at this and think, oh, they should probably score, right? Immediately penalty on Kraft for holding. Decent amount of holding calls this game, which, I mean, given the fact, as I said, I'm a Bears fan. I like seeing the Packers in bad situations. I thought it was pretty nice. Quick little 9-yard pass to Reed. Then then quick little pass to Dobbs. Dobbs was actually doing a pretty good job as being kind of like the number 2 in this situation for it. And then Josh Jacobs tried to take a run. He got stopped. Then he got guys get back. Got a nice little 2 right there. And then another penalty basically a penalty on Dobbs for like pass interference. Again, the Packers are getting like a lot of calls on them. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I would be lying if I said they didn't. However, like, I'm not complaining. I'm really not complaining on this. And then just a pass, incomplete, and then just a field goal. So again, like, even though Jalen Hurts messed up and basically had 2 turnovers, they both only ended in field goals. So I thought that was actually pretty impressive on this Eagles defense. Like, I genuinely think they'll probably be one of the best defense in the NFL this year. They'll probably maintain that. And yeah, honestly, just personally, in my opinion, I would like to see more Jordan Davis, personally, because I really enjoy him from like the draft days. So so that's basically what's the end of the first quarter. Basically, score was 0-6. Second quarter, immediately Jalen Hurts got to business. Saquon Barkley got into business. Quick little pass to Goddard. A quick little run from Barkley. Pass to AJ Brown. Jalen Hurts took himself and ran it. Pass to Smith. Quick little pass to Smith too. Like Devontae. Like, here's the thing. Like, Devontae Smith very much benefits from the fact of he has AJ Brown with him, and then just like now with Saquon, it's just like I think Devontae Smith will probably have like a very much a career year, and also like AJ Brown too. I think the offense overall will be pretty good. I feel like the only one that would have like some regression is gonna be Goddard, really. Just because of the fact of just like coming off like had some injuries last year, and then just the fact that he has to deal with like now Saquon getting the catches too. I think you're gonna see like a lot more of like. I think it wouldn't be surprising if you were to see based upon the stats. If I can pull it up, I wouldn't be surprised if you see like Dallas Goedert regularly being like in this sort of range with like Saquon basically. And originally he would be like here range. I wouldn't be surprised if you see him like kind of like here in terms of like the pecking order for like catches and overall just yards. But yeah, that's what happened for Goddard if I can find it, and then for like Devontae. Yeah, then we had a penalty for encroachment, which again Packers got a lot of calls on them, So I was kind of happy to see that kind of like penalty on them. Barkley had a quick little run. Then got tackled a little bit. And then quick little touchdown from Jalen Hurts to Barkley. That was pretty good. Jake Elliott came in for the point. So now Packers basically came in and say, no, we ain't going to let that slide. Quick little incomplete pass and down the deep middle. Not quick little run from Wilson. Another run from Wilson. Another run from Wilson. This is basically when like they were just like, okay, Josh Jacobs, you need a break, because at this point Josh Jacobs was like doing all right on his like Packers debut. He overall ended with a pretty solid game. However, it was just like wasn't really doing as much. And then we have a touchdown from Reed, and then just an extra point was no good. However, Jalen Carter did get called for offside, which then led to them doing a 2-point conversion, which fails because Josh Jacobs basically just ran into people and just kind of just like stopped right there. And my dog is barking upstairs. I'm back home this weekend, by the way. So, dog's barking upstairs. Can't wait to deal with that later. Next up is Eagles. Came for the touchdown. Quick little run, passing complete. 20-yard pass was pretty good to AJ Brown. Jalen Hurts again with the runs. Quick little pass. More of a pass. Jalen Hurts also ran again. Another run. And then touchdown Eagles. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just heard like a bunch of noise upstairs. I think that's my family got home. Yeah, sounds like it. Then just more runs. And then quick little Eagles where Saquon just ran it himself. And then the extra point's good. Overall, I also think like Jalen Hurts would probably have a career low in rushing yards if they're gonna have like Saquon in here. So this play was honestly pretty funny. Passing complete, 70 yards. I sat there thinking to myself, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? There's no way." And then penalty for kick formation and a false start. So basically they had like they had to go back 5 yards and the extra point was no good. Personally, I thought that was pretty funny. When I saw the penalties for it, I thought that was pretty funny because I was at this point like I could just tell for a fact like partly like the refs were just kind of like, come on, we want the Eagles to win. I just thought it was funny. And then end of the half was a field goal by the Eagles, where it's just like incomplete, nice little pass, nice little incomplete, run, pass, run, incomplete, run, pass, sacked. Penalty on Goddard for false starting, which after seeing like all the Packers flags, me seeing the Eagles get a flag, I was like, okay, finally, at least we're having like some penalties here for both sides. And then just pass to kind of make it up again, incomplete, and then just kick it. Basically just kick it. So that was the first half. Overall, that was pretty good. Third quarter started off immediately with a AJ Brown touchdown for 67 yards. Nice little run by Barkley, and then just boom, he just threw it. He just threw it to AJ, and AJ Brown just got it. Thought that was a pretty nice way to start the quarter. And then the Packers answered that with a nice little thing. They did kind of have at least like good like benefits from Mitchell and Bond for roughing the passer and pass interference. So again, this is kind of when we start seeing like at least like more evenness for like the Packers are actually getting like back for most of the flags. So thought that was more pretty nice and fair for them. Nice little pass to Kraft. Nice little run, incomplete. Another penalty for Maddox for pass interference. And then touchdown, which for Christian Watson for 2 yards. Nice little kind of like lob of like, okay, like go get it. And then we have punt, interception. So just go first kind of quickly. Punts, it basically just one of the situations where it was just a sack. Dumb times. This one was more just like they had a penalty for a shift, and then just incomplete, penalty, and then punt. Which again, very kind of like dumb how like this many penalties happen on like one play on like a punt. However, I think with the more like newer like rule changes, I think I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot more penalties at the beginning of the year, and then by the time we get to like that week like 6 or something like that, like a lot of these penalties are gonna go away because a lot of it is just teams adjusting to new rules. And then basically they just got stopped. They basically just got stopped. Like Jalen Hurts tried to run himself, got absolutely stopped, and then they just couldn't really do much. And then the interception. Nice little runs by Jacobs. They had a penalty for offensive holding, so they brought them back, and then just interception. Blankenship basically just caught it and just like try to run up, and which then led to a nice little touchdown. Eagles actually doing what the Packers failed to do, which is benefit off of an interception and actually score that touchdown and not just kick it. Which kind of basically was just little pass, run, run by Barkley, and then you say it is all this is it was basically Devontae was just like, oh hey, we're gonna give it up, and then it just came to the Saquon Barkley show, and then just the missed field goal, which I mean, just like personally, like they did pretty good for the style. Like there's a couple of good plays here, mainly from like Jacobs was actually starting to be pretty good, and then just incomplete, and then just no good. Which honestly, like from 43 yards out, like it's not like a horrible miss. Like it's not like again, like it could be a lot worse than what it is, but at the same time, it's kind of like the things where it's like at this point, it was like the field's getting kind of torn up, and just like I think kind of like everyone knew for a fact that like it was just like just the field being shitty, really at that point. And then we had interception, another one from Jalen Hurts, where basically it was just a situation where they had a nice little run by Barkley, incomplete, nice little pass, another nice little pass to Brown. Jalen Hurts tried taking himself, and then he got tackled for loss, incomplete, and then he just got intercepted by Zaire, and kind of got run down a little bit. Then we have again, like just another field goal. Like they just don't. They just not really benefit from like interceptions. Really, they at least are scoring something. However, it's just kind of like that sort of stuff. So, Josh Jacobs ran for 32 yards. Mitchell was also injured a little bit. Like I always miss injuries whenever the play gets returned, or something like that. So got a little injured, but he came back. Lost a yard. Jacobs lost a yard off a tackle. Nice little pass to Watson. Deep pass to Reed. Nice little run from Wilson. Nice little pass to him. Little run from Jacobs. And then just incomplete, field goal scored. So that was pretty good. At least that Naverson was able to at least get his legs under him a little bit. And then just nice little field goal to end it. I was watching this part pretty intensely because I was just kind of like, come on, like it was 29-31, so I knew for a fact that like it was like 7:25 left on the clock. I knew like 7:30 left on the clock. I know for a fact that if the Eagles could score, they were basically just not gonna do it. And this was a long 7 minutes and 25 seconds. This was long because they lost a yard. AJ Brown got hurt. Yeah, AJ Brown got hurt. So the next play, they're just kind of checking on him. Incomplete pass, but they got benefit from a penalty on Jair for holding. So anyways, got 5 yards. Nice little run up the middle from Barkley. AJ Brown has returned to the game, thankfully, so it wasn't that bad. Nice little run from Barkley. Jalen Hurts actually had a pretty good run right here. Like, they had a pretty good one. Then a lost penalty for Lane Johnson in legal formation, which I think a lot of it was because we saw last game with Stanley on the Ravens getting a lot of like illegal formations. So I think they probably they tried their best to do it, but I think at that point it just kind of came just more just kind of like end of the quarter, kind of a little bit of a dumb penalty from especially from a guy like Lane Johnson. However, it's like everyone makes those mistakes. Incomplete pass. There was a penalty, but it got to decline. Nice little run by Hurts. Very nice kind of scramble. And they also kind of benefit from the fact they also got like holding. So nice little 2-yard run over here. Another nice little run by Hurts. At this point, we start seeing more of like kind of like that action kind of going around. And then just Barkley got tackled for loss up the middle, which then responds to Jalen Hurts being like, oh, hey, we're going to pass this to Devontae Smith. And then just run up the middle. Nice little pass. Another run for no games. And then just field goal. And then at that point, you just have Green Bay Packers starting on the 16 with 27 seconds left. So you think to yourself, oh, hey, like, how do you think they're going to do this? Because they had to score a touchdown. Deep 33-yard pass from it. A nice little run from Jacobs. So we're at 15. 6 seconds, incomplete pass, and all of a sudden, sacked. Lee Willis got sacked. And then, what was it? Oh, yeah. During this play, Jordan Love got injured. So this is the play that injured Jordan Love. Which again, I also think it was kind of stupid. However, it's just kind of like it's. I think it was one of those more of those freak injuries, kind of where it's just kind of like when I say freak, I don't mean like freak as in like a Derrick Rose injury, where it's kind of like he routine about having it every once in a while. Like I'm saying freak injury because of the conditions around it. So like I know for a fact in a normal field, I don't think Jordan Love would get hurt like that. I really don't think he would get hurt like that. However, in these sort of conditions, it's kind of like one of the things where it's like, hey, you never know what happens, and then just Malik Willis got sacked and ended the game. Overall, that was actually a more entertaining game than I thought it would be. Still enjoyed the fact the Eagles won the game as a avid Packers hater. However, just like kind of sucked that we had an injury there. Overall takes for the game is if Jalen Hurts keeps doing the way he does, then we really had to benefit from like Saquon in order to do good. The two interceptions were not really good, and the fumble loss. That's 3 turnovers right there. Like Duke might try to break like a Josh Allen type season, honestly. Saquon Barkley was really good. I think it actually again was a really good like player addition to get on for the offense. I think he'll actually do really well. And then just defensively, just like we already knew Eagles had a good defense, so they kind of kept it up. In terms of the offensive line, yeah, they gave up like 2 sacks. However, I feel like those sacks came more from like the field condition and not of their play. And overall, like I thought they did pretty well. In terms of the Packers, if Jordan Love is out, then I think my prediction is actually more closer to being correct because I said that like I think the Packers will miss the playoffs because I don't really believe in Jordan Love's one season flukery. And yeah, if he's hurt and he gets hurt for a decent amount of time, then I think I think that the Packers would probably miss the playoffs. That's honestly my take. And then I honestly think Malik Willis will have a pretty solid stint, really. Josh Jacobs, not a bad sign. I think it's more of like it's not a unilateral decision of just kind of like, oh hey, we're gonna have like Josh Jacobs instead of like Aaron Jones, just like have like Josh Jacobs be like younger. I think it's just more of like a hey, it's not a bad like decision. Jaden Reed played really well. I think he's gonna do pretty good things this year. I think he'll probably like prove to be kind of a good benefit to like the overall like team as a whole. And I just think like this year in terms of receiving, it's basically gonna be the Jaden Reed show. I really believe that. And then just trying to think what else. Oh yeah, in terms of like kicks, again, the second game where there wasn't a lot of returns. I don't think the rule is really going to like greatly impact the play of it. Really, I think of it as much as I thought it would based upon the preseason. However, as I said, I think for those two, it was more of like they had circumstances for it. There's like some like asterisks of circumstance that kind of caused it to be like that. Like for example, Chiefs Ravens with the delay, and then Packers Eagles with just the overall field condition also being kind of crappy. I think it's just like we haven't had like a true fair slot. And I think on Sunday we'll be able to see that slot. So overall, yeah, that's my review of the games. I hope y'all enjoy the review. Make sure to like and subscribe for more content. And hopefully I'll see y'all later. Later, everyone. And goodbye.